Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Sian. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more. There are loads of helpful videos on this channel. I've got a to be read for you today, my autumn to be read. There's loads of books in it. I kind of put myself on a bit of a book buying ban and then I stopped it because I needed to buy books. So I'm going to show you what I've got on my list. There are so many. First up, we've got Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race by Reni Eddo-Lodge. And it says on the back, the book that sparked a national conversation, exploring everything from eradicated black history to the inextricable link between class and race. Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race is the essential handbook for anyone who wants to understand race relations in Britain today. And it sounds really good. I've seen loads of people reading this one. I have to totally admit to being influenced and buying it because I saw people reading it. But I'm really interested in reading this. I think ever since I read Children of Blood and Bone, I've been far more interested in delving into race and racism and class and those kind of divides. Next up is a book called Less by Andrew Sean Greer. Now this is one that my mum got for my husband for his birthday. He's already read it, so I've saved it for me. It says, Arthur Less is a failed novelist about to turn 50. A wedding invitation arrives in the post. It's from an ex-boyfriend of 9 years who is engaged to someone else. Arthur can't say yes, it would be too awkward. He can't say no, it would look like defeat. So he begins to accept the invitations on his desk to half-baked literary events around the world. From France to India, Germany to Japan, Arthur almost falls in love, almost falls to his death, and puts miles between him and the plight he refuses to face. Less is a novel about mishaps, misunderstandings, and the depth of the human heart. My husband said it was a very good book, so I'm looking forward to reading that one. The next one I've got is called The Hate You Give, and I'm going to try and read this before autumn. Probably shouldn't include it, but anyway I am. It's by Angie Thomas, and this says, Star lives in two worlds, the poor neighbourhood where she was born and raised and her posh high school in the suburbs. The uneasy balance between them is shattered when Star is the only witness to the fatal shooting of her unarmed best friend Khalil by a police officer. Now what Star says could destroy her community. It could also get her killed. This, again, I've seen a lot of people reading. I think it sounds fantastic and it's exactly the kind of book I'm into at the moment. Very into kind of class and race and that divide, and obviously this is trying to kind of make those two worlds collide, so I think this will be fantastic. The next book was recommended to me and it's called Slave by Anna, and it's with Jason Johnson, and this is a true story. Says on the back, this is the heartbreaking true story of one of the UK's most shocking modern day slavery cases. Anna was an innocent student living in London when she was kidnapped, beaten and forced into the sex slave industry. Threatened and tormented by her pimps, she was made to have sex with thousands of men, but she would not allow them to break her. On learning she would be trafficked from Ireland to Dubai, she found the courage to trick her abusers and flee. Later she would find that same resilience to help the police in the UK bring down her abductors. For the first time, the girl at the centre of the storm tells her story. This is going to be hard going, I know it is. But the fact that slavery still happens in the UK needs to be discussed more, it needs to be talked about, it needs to be highlighted. So I'm going to look forward to, maybe not the right word, but I'm going to read this one. I also have Station 11 by Emily St John Mandel, and this is another one that's been recommended. I've bought loads of recommended books this month. And this says, what was lost in the collapse, almost everything, almost everyone, but there is still beauty. One snowy night in Toronto, a famous actor, Arthur Leander, dies on stage whilst performing the role of a lifetime. That same evening, a deadly virus touches down in North America. The world will never be the same again. 20 years later, Kirsten, an actress in The Travelling Symphony, performs Shakespeare in the settlements that have grown up since the collapse. But then her newly hopeful world is threatened. If civilization was lost, what would you preserve and how far would you go to protect it? You know, if you know me, that I love a dystopian novel. This hits all the right buttons for me, so I'm hoping that this will be as good as it sounds. The next one on the list, another recommendation. This is called The Help by Kathryn Stockett, and my mum recommended this to me, and she said she couldn't believe I hadn't read it, so I bought it. You know, that's how I deal with books that I haven't read before. Get them! It says on the back, enter a vanished world, Jackson, Mississippi, 1962, where black maids raise white children but aren't trusted not to steal the silver. There's Abilene raising her 17th white child and nursing the hurt caused by her own son's tragic death. Minnie, whose cooking is nearly as sassy as her tongue, and white Miss Skeeter, home from college, who wants to know why her beloved maid has disappeared. Skeeter, Abilene and Minnie. No one would believe they'd be friends. Fewer still would tolerate it. But as each woman finds the courage to cross boundaries, they come to depend and rely upon one another. Each is in search of truth, and together they have an extraordinary story to tell. And again, I think like the next few months of reading are going to be so mind-blowing. We're nearly at the end. The final book I have is The Amber Spyglass by Philip Pullman, and it is the third in the trilogy of his Dark Materials. And I've read both of the other two. I'm not going to tell you what I thought of both of them because one of them's coming up in a few weeks. But I cannot wait to delve into this third and final book. It says on the back, Will and Lyra, whose fates are bound together by powers beyond their own worlds, have been violently separated, but they must find each other. For ahead of them lies the greatest war there has ever been, and a journey to a dark place from which no one has ever returned. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to finding out what happens next, and we're just reading with my son at the moment The Book of Dust, which kind of comes before all of these books, which I'm enjoying reading with him because I've read the ones that come after. So that's the last one. Oh, I forgot about this one. It's a Katie Ford book called A Secret Garden. I've never read a Katie Ford book before. I don't know what that says about me, but my children chose it for me for Mother's Day, so quite a while ago. But it's been on my to be read pile for ages and I need to get it read. So that's going to get read as well. It says on the back, in spite of everything, her heart lifted a little as she opened the gate to the secret garden. Lorna and her friend Philly work together in the grounds of a beautiful manor house in the Cotswolds. But even though they are surrounded by family and friends, the door to true love remains resolutely closed. Could their discovery of a secret garden mean this is about to change? I don't know. Could it? We'll find out. I will let you know what I think of her writing style. And that's it. That is my to be read list for autumn. Please let me know if you've read any of these books in the comments below and let me know what you think about them. If you've enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. If you'd like to, please subscribe, and if you do subscribe, make sure you click on the little bell so you get a notification when I upload a video. I'll see you again soon. Alright, bye.